What's up, everybody? Back with another Fair Shake review, but this time we doing a one about a movie, an anime movie. Wow, crazy, remarkable. This rarely happens. So yeah, finally got to see the Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie, and yeah, yeah. So I get why a lot of people loved this movie when it was released in Japan, and how it became one of the top, like one of the top grossing, if not, I think it is the top grossing animated movie now. Um, like it was good. It was really good. So starting out, you you just kind of get to see the the head of the Demon Slayer Corps, and you get to see kind of what state he's in as he's walking through the graves of his fallen corpse core leaders. I mean, core members. Goodness gracious, can't speak. And he just sets the tone with like letting the theme be known straight ahead. The human will is strong. It's like despite us, you know, being a lot of the warriors falling, the demons will not ever win in the end, because the human will is strong, and they'll continue to fight back until they're all gone. So that was really nice to have that, like, open things up, and then we finally get straight into the mission, where the anime left off, the anime season left off, and you see them getting onto the train, and then the story's all on its way. I'm not gonna end up doing a whole synopsis of the whole movie, but I am gonna bring out some parts that I enjoyed in particular without spoiling anything. But yeah, so kind of end up being able to see some lovely gags in there, and see the kind of some more of the gorgeous animation, and just kind of reintroduce the characters and kind of like their personalities real quick. I could see how it could be helpful for people who are not familiar with the series, even though I definitely would say it's important to see the series, at least the first season, before you hop into this, because later parts are going to make so much more sense when you have the context. But then, the real mission begins. They start to get into their first couple of battles, and they defeat some of the demons, and it's like, whoa, bro! Like, the fight's so crazy, and you get to see the small taste of Rengoku's power, because he's one of the Hashira, one of the top elite demon slayers. And so you get to see how dope his flame technique is, and it's like, whoa, dude. So this is what it's like when you're like the top of the top. Like, we already got impressed by Tanjiro, like in the series, when he like went all out against the spider dude. His name escapes me right now. I know it starts with an R, but I can't recall exactly what his name was. But when he fights against Spider Dude, you know what I'm talking about in episode 19. But yeah, dude, it was cool to finally get to see just exactly how tough Rengoku is, and then the big bad finally kind of shows up with his plan behind the scenes, and it goes into kind of a whole new kind of section where you get to see a bit of the mindset of the main four heroes, um, uh, Zenitsu, um, uh, Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Rengoku, where because they go into their own, they have to go into their own personal backgrounds because they do have dream sequences in here, and you really get to see how different the personalities are, and even finally get to get even more backstory on Rengoku when they go into his world, and see kind of the relationship that he's had with his family and his position as Hashira in the the Demon Slayer Corps. And so that was kind of nice way to incorporate that, and then also our main character Tanjiro getting to see like a bit of how things used to be with his family as well, and how sad it is that he has to give it up, and the way that they end up handling that afterwards was really cool, with the help of Nezuko and how the powers work, because the demon blood arts are also really cool to see how each of them manifest throughout the series, and so to see how it works for the main bad guy in this one was really cool. So after that sequence, they finally get to try and finish saving the people on the train, and as the battle continues, and they really start to have to try to beat the main bad guy. The one thing I do want to say, Ufotable is amazing with their animation, because they do a pretty darn great job of fusing 3D and hand-drawn art, but the way they did the demon train itself, it was a little off-putting for me. It was the only real 3D that made me say, I don't know about this. But it makes sense in a budgetary manner, but I still think if they could have done it slightly differently, the demon train, I think it would have looked a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, in my opinion. But I mean, they still did a good job with much of the animation throughout the entire thing. But yeah, so that cool final battle with the big bad was really cool, and seeing how that human will theme coming into play, and just how much determination Tanjiro has to, as well as Inosuke helping him in the end, with being the hands-on people in that final battle, to how that happens was really awesome. And then after that, there's a surprise guest in that battle itself, where they get to show Rengoku show off even more, because the surprise guest is very, very tough, and I'm trying not to spoil anything too much, but that very, very last battle was so nail biting, and oh my gosh, what in the world's gonna happen? This is really cool to see these super, super tough opponents go head to head like that, and it was wow. And then once the battle's over, you just end up being oh wow, what? It's really gonna it's really gonna end like this. Dang. It's it's uh it's it's interesting that it has to end this way. Um, and yeah, I'm really trying my hardest not to spoil how it ends. But yeah, yeah. Let's just say you can go through a lot of different feelings throughout this entire movie, and hopefully, excuse me, throughout the film, you can get attached to these characters to really allow the impact of what ends up happening um, to affect you. But yeah, I heavily enjoyed it. I did feel like it was like I did feel like the movie was like almost like three different parts though. Um, like it really did somewhat feel um, like episodes that were kind of strung together instead of like a full-on movie. Um, since like even though the like all the parts are connected, like and it's all like the whole story is normal. Um, I do feel like they were like almost like different sections of an actual like anime episodes that were put together, um, and just in my opinion, because like the way I kind of broke it down, it was kind of like, hey, you got the first encounter with demons, then you got dream sequence section, then you got final battle section, and then you got special guest battle section. And so it did kind of somewhat feel like separate events that are definitely sequential, but don't feel like, hey, this whole thing is for the movie. It just kind of felt somewhat like, you know, for small arcs for this whole movie arc, I guess. Which I mean isn't a bad thing. It just somewhat didn't feel like a movie. It felt somewhat like watching a TV show that's just kind of, you know, keeping good pace. It's in itself, but you know that is just moving from this arc, this small arc to this small arc to this small arc to this small arc. But either way, it was amazing. It was quite a spectacle. There were some laughs, there were some cries, and there are some whoas. So yeah, if you get a chance to see this junk, because I got to see it in the theater, like I heavily recommend it. Like I get why so many people went to go check it out when it was first released in Japan, because this was cool. And then plus, you know, Demon Slayer is just making a lot of noise right now in general. So yeah, that's what my thoughts are. Tell me what you guys thought down below if you have seen it. And yeah, until the next anime retrospect, because that's the main time I talk about anime. It's just in a huge group setting, because trying to split it up between all the shows I watch and is kind of pointless. But yeah, until next time, much love, peace.